The Docius taurus miracinus, commonly known as the Moroccan locust, ranks amongst the most economically damaging plant pests anywhere in the world. A full outbreak this year could result in crop losses. As per the Food and Agriculture Organization, these losses can range from 700,000 to 1.2 million metric tons of wheat, up to a quarter of the total annual harvest. Total losses round off to between $280 million to $480 million. Several farmers in the country have seen their crops ravaged by locusts. This is causing them severe losses.
The Moroccan locust has destroyed 60 hectares of my wheat field and 6,200 hectares of pasture land in this area, where 10 villages are located. These locusts hatch from mid-March to mid-April and finish in mid-June. So dear brothers, we call on you to please help us and find a solution in any possible way.
Afghanistan's north and northeastern regions have been the most prone to the Moroccan locust outbreaks. Droughts and unfavorable climate conditions in 2022 led to huge problems for the farmers in the country. Drought, along with overgrazing, very limited locust control and the right amount of rainfall in March and April created the ideal environment for locusts to hatch and swarm. The population of Moroccan locusts can increase by 100 times if they are left untreated.
Haiti is currently dealing with one of the worst flooding disasters in its entire history. Thousands of homes in the country have been flooded following heavy rains over the weekend, leaving at least 42 people dead and 85 injured. The number of fatalities is likely to rise as the hours pass by gradually. The biggest impact has been reported in the west, where the capital city of Port-au-Prince is located. The intense rainfall caused several rivers throughout Haiti to overflow, which in turn sparked flash floods, flooding, rock slides and landslides. Over 13,000 people have been displaced and at least 11 others have been declared missing. The floods are the latest calamity to strike a country with already weak infrastructure, which has been repeatedly racked with criminal violence, political turmoil and natural disasters in recent years.
Some in Ireland have suggested that thousands of cows are set to be culled to hit emissions targets over the next few years. Some farmers have spoken out about what those targets might mean for their livelihoods, as well as their cattle. What's going on? Well, for anyone involved in the farming industry on the Emerald Isle, the government's plans to cut agriculture emissions by 25% provide pretty grim reading. Ireland's cattle population outnumbers its humans by about 2.5 million, and the people of the land have had a long and storied history with animals. However, these days, some people, mainly in government, believe cows are to blame for the worsening climate crisis.
There's a lot of politicians out there, talking about the implementation of a carbon target and that there'll be no compulsory cull, but we don't see that happening. We see them culling through the back door, be it through the nitrates regulation. So there is a huge challenge for our industry, in particular for those that are financially exposed. And there are a lot of the productive farmers that are significantly exposed from a financial perspective.
Brussels, who have never produced anything in their life, are now telling producers what to do. And this can only end in disaster. The Irish know about this from the potato famine of the 1843-1844 period. A third of their population died, a third immigrated, and the same thing will happen.
The EU is saying because of climate emissions meeting net zero, they're going to have to cull 200,000 head of cattle.
Right now we are in a situation where the economy has no productivity gains, rising wages, rising inflation, rising interest rates. To me, this spells disaster.
It does. It's a forthcoming disaster because it will take 2 terms of government to repair the damage.
Poor people can sell their carbon credits so that rich people can fly. So poor people won't be able to fly anymore, but rich people will be because they'll buy the car. This is serfdom, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. And you will be poor and you will be happy.
Exactly.
And what people don't understand is you can do calculations on the amount of grass a cattle eat and how much carbon dioxide and methane they emit and how much is sequestered into cow dung and into leather. Cattle already are at net zero.
The province of Esmeraldas in Ecuador is facing a calamity situation due to severe floods that have hit the region in recent days. The municipalities of Esmeraldas, Atacames, Caninda, and Muissa were particularly affected, leaving a profound impact on the lives of thousands of people. It is estimated that around 3,000 homes were damaged, and approximately 11,000 residents were directly affected. The floods were triggered by a prolonged period of heavy rains, which led to the overflow of 6 rivers in the region. The force of the waters resulted in a large-scale rescue operation, mobilizing boats and helicopters to help rescue people who were trapped in flooded areas.